Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I have a statement made by Volodymyr Zelensky, the president, the guy in charge of Ukraine, the leader of the Ukrainian nation. And I will read it for you. Remember, Zelensky said, and not only his defenders claim that he cannot be a Nazi because he's Jewish, and by definition, it can't happen. Now, I would like you to pay attention to this statement coming from Zelensky, characterizing Putin, the president of the Russian Federation, and with all your knowledge that you have, everything that you read, you heard, you watched, all the knowledge that you have, I will give you about 7 seconds to make a little, oh, this reminds me of something. Here is the statement. Ukrainska Pravda, Sunday, July 13th, 2025. Zelensky on Putin. And I'm quoting. He, Putin, is not human in terms of humanity. For him, this war is his life. Now you can ignore this part right here, but you go with the first one. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so reminds you of what? When you want your nation to go and fight another nation, you dehumanize the other nation. Why? Because it's easier for you to look at them not as human beings, but as pests, maybe. And it's easier when you characterize your enemy as pests, like rats, cockroaches, things like this. It's easier for you to say, well, I just squashed a cockroach, I just kicked in the big teeth a rat, a rodent. The problem is, or fleas, the same, fleas. I don't like fleas. The problem is, I gave you those 7 seconds because you definitely, if you know certain things about the world, you definitely remember how Adolf, the most evil guy in the world, referred to the Jews, and the Nazis referred to the Jews in certain terms, and how they called the Slavic people, remember? Almost human, half human, remember? And they called consistently the Jewish people, rats and cockroaches, and, dehumanizing them in order to be heartless when they will, round them up and do some evil stuff to them. And here you have Zelensky, Jewish, coming and saying that the leader of another country, a leader who was elected by his nation, by his Norod, right? Norod, is Norod people? A few times, I would say 5 times, 4 times. You can't say, I don't think Putin is a dictator. I don't think he's more of a dictator than Zelensky, that's for sure. At least the guy stood some elections, even though those elections were not perfect. Neither were these ones here, so in America. So, nevertheless, this is how Zelensky got to talk. Remember, there's a saying, Americans have many sayings, obviously. Nations have similar sayings. And it goes like this. If he walks like a duck, mock, mock. If he talks like a duck, mock, mock. If he farts like a duck, if he pees like a duck, he is a duck. So even if the duck, mock, mock, I'm not a duck, I'm a vulture. You can try to self-identify as much as you want as a vulture. You act like a duck. You look like a duck. So in this case, this guy who says, I can't, it's ridiculous. It's here, I'm Ukrainian. You're an alien in charge of the Ukrainian nation. That's a different story. So this guy claimed that it's impossible, man, to be a Nazi. Now, people who know more about things in general should know that the National Socialist Party's ideology, dogma, was based on the Democratic Party's platform. When they wrote down their platform, the Nazis, I think it was 25 points or something. Do you know them? In Nuremberg, they looked at the Democratic Party. Yes, in the 15, 19, 20, 20 something. And then they put together the platform looking at the Democratic Party from here. And in all those things over there, I think there are 25 points or so, and much more, the aspect of Übermensch, Overman, Superman, is mentioned maybe, I don't know, one. The rest, if you read it, doesn't really have to do with the right here. So when these guys say, I'm not a Nazi, they refer to that kind of supremacy thing. Well, I'm not trying to defend them, it's a matter of fact. Have you ever read the political platform of the National Socialist Workers' Party? Have you ever did that? Or you just know that, they wanted to conquer the world and they want to exterminate everybody else? Is that what basically we know from Hollywood, our professors, our politicians, and AIPAC and others? No? But it's much more. So it's kind of like you call, well, you're an American? What do you mean? I mean a criminal? Whoa, what do you mean? Well, you dropped 2 atomic bombs. You're a criminal. Whoa. But wait, just a second. Who dropped it? Oh, Harry Truman. But Harry Truman was a Democrat. See? So all Democrats are criminals, war criminals. They dropped 2 atomic bombs on 2 civilian cities. That's a war crime. So if I say, hey, don't be an American, are you an American? No, I'm not American. Don't conflate one action, one ideology, 1 point out of 25 or 100 or 2,000, and you focus only on that one. I mean, if you are for the truth, if you are for justice, if you are for knowledge, and you don't want to be a baboon, then you read about it and you understand that when these guys are calling you that way, they refer only to one aspect of their ideology. It's like I would say, you're a Democrat, you're a criminal, because you dropped 2 atomic bombs on 2 Japanese cities, civilians. That's a war crime. You understand? All right. So here you have Zelensky, Jewish. He says things like this. He's not human. Well, it is what it is, right? But as I said, if he walks like a Zelensky, if he talks like a Zelensky, if he plays as a Zelensky, he must be a Zelensky. Stein. Thank you very much for being with me again today. This is very revealing. Not surprising, revealing for people to see. I mean, I'm not surprised, I gotta tell you that. I am happy when he makes statements like this, because I can make videos like this and say, hey, did you think about this from this angle? And if you think my angle is idiotic, then okay, that's fine. Bye-bye. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.